Welcome to the Lloyd Robson Oval. It's in Baroka. It's a home of the Port Moresby Rugby League. And it was on this ground back in 1986 that the Kumals upset the Kiwis by 2 points. PNG's only win over New Zealand in the 8 test matches they've played so far. Well, this ground holds around about 15,000 people, but because it's being played on a Saturday and the businesses are open, officials are only expecting a crowd of between 5,000 and 10,000 today. And there's no shortage of motivation for the Kiwis. If they want to be in the next World Cup final in 1992, they can't afford to let the 2 qualifying World Cup points slip away today. The referee today is Mr. Bill Harrigan from New South Wales, a 30-year-old policeman from Sydney. This will be the 4th test match that he's controlled. The 4th test match that the Kiwis have been involved in this year. 2 against Great Britain, and this is the 2nd in this series against the Kumals. The test match is underway, a World Cup qualifying game. Matthew Ridge gets the proceedings going. It's been picked up over there by Soga, the standoff. Let's see what the Kumals can do early on in this match. Prawanti in from the wing, taking it straight up the middle. Plenty of runners. They're trying the blind side now. Paglapuri, the second rower. 10 metres out from the halfway line. Now the clearing kick. It goes back to Haru. Matthew Ridge is back there. Beautifully positioned. First touch of the ball apart from the kick-off for Ridge. Good chasing too by the Kumals as the crowd draws. 20 metres out from the Kiwi line. Big Tony Udoa is in there, but there's a penalty coming up to New Zealand. The Kumals way offside, well and truly inside the 5 metres. And now the Kiwis in with a good chance to apply the pressure on the Kumals. Gary Freeman, Taurira Nikau, David Watson out to, good ball out to Dean Lonergan. He scored 2 last week, and there's the first try to New Zealand, the second rower, Dean Lonergan. Good ball there for Lonergan to run onto, and that's the first try of the match after about 10 minutes of play to number 11, Dean Lonergan. New Zealand leading by 4 points to 0. Matthew Ridge, and no mistake with that one, curls it through. And that's the 5th tackle for the Kiwis, playing into a stiff breeze. It's going to Freeman. They're going to run it. Taurira Nikau. They're keeping it alive. Matthew Ridge up into the back line. Sammy Panapa taken ball and all over there, and that's the 6th tackle, but a good run down the blind side by the Kiwis. They lead by 6-0. Paglapuri, the second rower, storming onto it. He's lost the ball. Play on, says the referee. And the Kiwis come away with it. Mark Dixon. Tackled by Belnamapo. Gary Freeman at dummy half. Now it's Taurira Nikau steps inside. Mike Kawiti was storming onto the ball, but Nikau couldn't get it away. Peter Brown down the blind side. The big prop given a little bit of room to move. He got a good ball back to Dwayne Mann. He steps inside, throws it into nobody, but it was forward anyway from Brown. No try. Stanley Haru puts it in. But it's a ball. It's a win to New Zealand. Mark Dixon getting pretty close to the line. So 1 against the head for the Kiwis. They keep the pressure on the Kumals. Brent Todd wasn't really waiting for it, but he's going to have a run on his own. Kiwis looking to organise themselves. Freeman. This is out Peter Brown. David Watson. One over the top to Sam Panapar. He has to come back inside. Sammy Panapar still going the strong winger. And it's a try. Just managed to place the ball down. So good strong running by Panapar over on the far wing. So New Zealand are now leading by 10 points to 0. 21 minutes of play gone in the first half. Have a look at this one. It was Gary Freeman that threw the big one over the top. Missed out 1 or 2 players. Eventually out to Panapa. He ran out of room on the wing and had to come back inside. And it was just sheer strength that managed to get it down over the try line. New Zealand 10, Papua New Guinea 0. Struck it pretty well, and it's away this time though. So New Zealand leading by 10 points to 0. Matthew Ridge's conversion of that Sam Panapa try unsuccessful. 11 metres from halfway now. Freeman. Dean Lonergan out wide. Back inside it goes to Paddy Chulmabawi. That's a great little bit of work there, but Mike Kawiti has put it down with the line right open. So the Kumals come away with it. Eve, back inside it goes. A chance for the Kumals. Wanega One over the top. They're keeping it alive brilliantly. Terry, Haru, and now it goes over the far side. The skipper, Bel Namapo, with a chance to add the extra points for the Kumals. Struck it pretty well, but now it's away. So New Zealand now lead by 10 points to 4. The Kumals who've hit back. Terry, tackled well by Brown. He gets it away though. Haru, back inside to Matt Millo. Good ball control. Paglapari, here's a chance for the Kumals. Tony Oro's knocked it down. Back to one. It's a try to the Kumals. Underneath the post. Soga will score. The crowd goes wild. Bel Namapo, he adds the extra points. So the Kumals have hit back. They were trailing by 10 points to 0, but it's now 10-all. That's the quarter line. PNG end of the ground. There's the half-time siren. Mark Nixon, Dean Lonigan, Paddy Tulmavavi. He's going to show the ball up, Paddy Tulmavavi. Back along the ground it goes. There's Dean Lonigan. Freeman wants to have a bit of a run with it now. Right on the half-time siren, Brent Todd. He's got Kawiti with him. Out it goes to Panapa. Getting close to the line. Panapa. Is he in? No. Just held up short of the line. Oh, how close can you go on half-time? So here at the Lloyd Robson Oval in Port Moresby, it's all tied up at half-time in the heat.
10-all at half-time. What was your message at the break? We have to score within the first 5 minutes of the second half and then score again later if we can. That never eventuated, but we did score in 3 minutes of the second half, so that really put the platform for our win straight up to half-time.
Now it's Brent Todd. Peter Brown. He's got Tawera Dikau with him. Good run by the second row, but he couldn't free his hands to get it off to the support. Now it's Peter Brown inside. Kumals read that one pretty well. Freeman wants to spin it wide, the double round. Back inside it goes now to Tulmavavi. Looking for the support, Paddy Tulmavavi. 10 metres out. Good chance for the Kiwis now. Here's Tony Iro, the big man. Stops. Throws it along the ground to Tulmavavi. Back to Brent Todd. Out to Peter Brown. He's going to prop and come back inside, and that's the fifth tackle. The Kumals defence holding firm at the moment. Freeman. There's one over the top. David Watson's running through. It's lying loose on the ground. Watson will score. Good try to New Zealand. That's exactly what they needed in the opening minutes of the second half. 3 minutes gone. And New Zealand now leading by 14 points to 10. Matthew Ridge with the chance to add another valuable 2 points to give the Kiwis a bit of breathing space. Is it going to swing her? And yes, a beautiful kick by Matthew Ridge. So they've got a bit of breathing space now. It's New Zealand 16, leading Papua New Guinea 10. Moreira dummy half. Lapan. They spin it wide. There's Eve, the big prop. He's got a turn of speed. Finds a way through the middle. Back it goes to Matt Millo. He's left it on the ground, and it's a Kiwi ball. Paglapari in there after the tackle, so this should be a penalty. This will be a penalty to New Zealand. That'll relieve a bit of the pressure. 16 points to 10, the Kiwis lead. I make it about 5 minutes to go in this World Cup qualifying test match. New Zealand leading 16 points to 10. Matthew Ridge with a chance to add the extra points. Straight between the uprights. Gee, the Kiwis will be pleased with that because they've struggled in the heats today. So Ridge gives them more breathing space. New Zealand leading by 18 points to 10. The Kumals. Haru. Namapo with a bit of run to do. Ball Namapo. Has he got the legs? He's trying to stop back inside and give it back to Maria. Out it goes to Arnold Kawanti. Good cover there by Gary Freeman. Penalty. Penalty to Papua New Guinea right in front of the sticks, but I don't think they'll want the 2 points now. Yes, Belnamapo wants the 2. Belnamapo. It's been waved away, so some valuable time wasted there by the Kumals. That's the 5th tackle. This is good defence by the Kiwis. Remember, they're down to 12 men. The grubber kick through. It'll find touch. So it'll be a New Zealand feed into the scrum. Now full time is up on the clock. New Zealand 18. The Kumals 10. There it is. The full-time siren, and it's all over here at the Lloyd Robson Oval in Port Moresby. The Kiwis have won this World Cup qualifying match by 18 points to 10.
Gary, you've now played 22 test matches. Would you say that was the toughest out of all of them?
Oh, by far, even playing in 86 when we lost the game, I'd say that this one here was the toughest. The heat out there, where you could just see our forwards, you know, they were gasping to sort of, you know, make yardage, and that they all managed to get there at different times, and the backs complimented them when they made their runs forward. When we put a couple of kicks up, we scored vital tries, and we came with that great win.
At any stage, did you think that you were letting it slip away?
I think they only scored 2 tries off our mistakes, really, and they were drop balls, and I don't think they really penetrated our line at all to actually score any try. So I think if we had made those two mistakes, we would have come away with you know, an 18-0 scoreline. But that's football. You've got to take the good with the bad, and we come around with the win, so I'm not really worried now.
You're quite relieved that you can now have 4 replacements in test matches.
Yeah, I was relieved that we could have any replacements. It was really the forwards that was probably affecting the most, because the big blokes had to cart the ball up. We had to sort of get back down to basics, and we sort of lost that in the first half. We were playing like a game of touch, because I think the scoreline got away with us up in Goroka. But once we settled down in the second half and started playing, you know, that just easy pattern football, then it all come back together again, and we came away with the win.